Hey guys, this is Miss Arlequin, and in today's video we're going to be previewing some academic vocabulary from the Telltale Heart. Alright, so as usual, the first step is to look over each of the vocabulary words and to rate your prior knowledge of the word. A 1 is if you've never seen or heard the word before. A 2, you've seen or heard it, but you don't know what it means. A 3 is you know the word, you could give the definition. And 4 is you are an expert on the word. Not only do you know it and you can define it, you can use it in sentences, you understand the context, maybe even the connotations. You could push Miss Arlequin out of the way and you're going to come to the front of the class and you're going to teach everybody the word. That's how confident you are with words that you rate a 4. Alright, so let's look through each of our words. You have a column on your vocabulary sheet where you can rate each of these words as we go through them. The first word is acute. Second word is audacity. Third word is derision. Fourth is waned. Fifth is vex. Sixth is vehemently. The seventh is unperceived. Eighth is stifled. 9 is sagacity. 10 is refrains. 11, mockery. 12, raved. 13, profound. 14, premises. And 15, foresight. Alright, let's start with the first word, acute. So acute is an adjective, which means it's used to describe nouns, people, places, things, and ideas. If you're going to describe something as acute, it means you're saying that that thing is sharp or keen. It's most often used to describe somebody's sense of hearing. You could also use it to describe a sense of taste. You have an acute sense of taste, acute taste buds, acute hearing. Superman has such an acute sense of hearing, he can hear Lois Lane call for help from anywhere on the planet. Audacity. Alright, so audacity is a noun. It means the willingness to take bold risks or daring. Now you could also use the adjective form of this word. You can describe someone as being audacious. So an audacious person is somebody who's bold and daring. I wish I had the audacity. I wish I had the willingness to take bold risks. So I wish I had the audacity to try skydiving, but I'm too scared. Or, again, you can use it as an adjective. Who's audacious in this situation? The skydivers. Skydivers are so audacious. Why are they audacious? They're taking risks. They're being bold. They're doing things that many people wouldn't do. All right, now audacity can also mean rude or disrespectful. Somebody who's impudent is a rude person, a disrespectful person. So you really can think of this word as being a synonym for rudeness. Like, I watched in shock at the audacity, the rudeness of my little brother as he told my parents that he wished they were dead. Oof, that's pretty bad. All right, next word is derision. So derision means contempt or ridicule. You could also talk about being derisive towards somebody. If you're derisive towards them, you're looking down on them. And that's what contempt is. When you feel contempt, you feel almost like disgust for somebody. You don't think that they're as good as you, or you're disgusted by something that they've done, or you think something they've done is ridiculous. You want to ridicule or make fun of them. When Mark made a fool of himself during the play, he had to face the derision of mean classmates who kept teasing him. So he had to face people looking down on him, people making fun of him, ridiculing him. All right, next is waned. Waned means to become less intense. It's a verb, so you can talk about things that are waning. When something's waning, again, it's going down. It's becoming less. My interest in the class waned. It went down as the teacher went on and on about a boring topic. All right, next word is vex. Again, vex is a verb. It's an action word. When you're vexing somebody, it means that you're disturbing or annoying them. You're bothering them. As an ELA teacher, it really vexes me, bothers me, disturbs or annoys me when students don't complete their independent reading. Definitely true. All right, next is vehemently. Vehemently is an adverb. Hopefully remember that adverbs are very similar to adjectives. Adjectives describe nouns. Adverbs describe verbs. And adverbs usually end in ly. They don't have to, but a majority of them do. So when you use an adverb, you're describing the way that you're doing something. So you could be talking vehemently. Your actions are vehement. And if they're vehement, it means that you're acting with great force, violently, or forcefully. So you could vehemently push somebody. You could say something vehemently. Laura vehemently denied, very forcefully denied, that she was the one who had stolen all the Snickers bars from the trick-or-treat bags. All right, next is unperceived. Unperceived is a verb. You should recognize a part of this word, perceive. We know that when you perceive something, you talk about perceiving, you're talking about the way that you see something, very similar to perspective. So unperceived with this prefix, un means not, so unperceived is not perceived, not seen or understood. The sarcasm in my voice when unperceived, causing the class to think I was stupid. So the sarcasm was not seen, it wasn't understood. They didn't know I was being sarcastic. All right, stifled is a verb. If you are stifling something, it means that you're suppressing or holding it back. You're trying to stop it from happening. So we tried really hard to stifle our giggles during the assembly. So you're stifling it. You're trying to hold the giggles back. All right, sagacity. Sagacity is a noun. Sagacity is kind of another word for wisdom. It's keen perception or penetrating intelligence. So it's penetrating. It means it's very deep or strong. It also can be considered sound judgment, really good judgment, like logic. You do things that make sense, that are logical, that are very smart. In Lord of the Rings, Gandalf is a great wizard known for his sagacity and skill, known for his wisdom, his deep intelligence and skill. All right, next we have refrained. Refrained is a verb. If you're refraining something, it means you're holding it back, you're keeping from doing something. So very similar synonym to stifled. Our teacher warned us to refrain from any bad behavior during the assembly out of respect for our guests. All right, mockery. Mockery is a person or thing that receives or deserves ridicule or derision. All right, so when you are mocking somebody, you could also use it as a verb. I mocked the nerd in class, or I mocked my little brother. I imitated him. When you mock somebody, you might be imitating them, you might be mimicking them, you might just be making fun of them, calling them names, but usually mocking would involve some kind of mimicking or imitating. Cruel kids at Beecher Prep used to make a mockery of Augie by calling him all kinds of cruel names. So they used to ridicule or make fun of him. When you make a mockery of somebody, you're making fun. That's a really good way to think of it. Mockery is making fun. All right, next is raved. When you are raving about something, it's a verb, it's an action. So when you're raving, you're talking really wildly because you're very excited. You have excessive enthusiasm about something. So a great deal of excitement. After seeing the Bayview Players' performance of The Lion King, audience members raved for weeks about how talented the performers were. They kept talking very excitedly about them. They couldn't believe how good it was. All right, profound. Profound is an adjective. If you're going to describe something as profound, you're saying that it is very deep, it's very deeply or intensely felt, or it's very, very smart. So there's an intellectual depth. Again, this would be something kind of related to sagacity. So somebody who is incredibly intelligent might say deep thoughts. So actually, the best way to think about this is Confucius. Confucius, with all his famous sayings, is a very profound person. I had such profound feelings. I had such deep feelings for my dog. It was incredibly hard to move out of my mom's house and leave him behind. All right, premises. Premises is a piece of real estate, a house or a building, and its land. So you could talk about the premises of the school, the premises of the house. After a scream was heard by neighbors, the police came to search the premises. They came to search the area. That's a good synonym for premises. Premises are an area. All right, and finally we have foresight. Foresight is a noun. It is when you look forward and you're able to kind of predict what's going to happen. So it's the power to see what will happen. It's very thoughtful regard for the future. So I put this clip art here, but it's not necessarily that you have magical powers, although it can be used to talk about somebody's foresight. It really is almost just like a logical prediction. Like when we read and we're able to pick up on foreshadowing clues and we're able to guess the ending of the book, we have foresight. So it's able to just kind of use your intelligence and like problem-solving skills to predict things. Knowing how much tension there was between the two families, Laura had the foresight to avoid the family reunion. She had the ability to see what will happen. She knew that there was going to be fights at this reunion because of all the tension. So she was just like, all right, I'm not going to go. All right, so now it's time to apply these new words to your own writing. For each vocabulary word, make sure you use the word in a sentence, and that your sentence has enough context clues that somebody who didn't know the word could basically figure it out based on your clues.